So when someone told me that I was going to be able to see grieving as a tool and as a strength, I literally thought they were crazy. But hear me out. Where I'm standing right now, I can tell you that that is the truth. If you decide for that to be your truth, that would be your truth. I lost my dad 7 years ago, and my dad to me was my best friend. Like, he really was everything to me. You know, I was his friend. I used to work out with him. We were very close. We were really, really close. And when I lost him, I never thought I was going to be able to be where I am right now. But where I am right now and how I'm looking at things is that grieving has taught me that life is a process, right? You cannot skip a stage because it will always come back and want to be felt. And that is the simple truth. We cannot skip stages. If we do so, we're always gonna go back one step. So I wrote down a little of the things that I resonate with in every stage. So I'm gonna read it out to you guys, right? Stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, right? Denial, it's how I see it, is a natural defense mechanism that helps us process overwhelming emotions, right? So it's like a chance to catch your breath, like, okay, before this reality hits and before I really have to tell myself that I have to go on and move on to a new reality where my father was no longer in the picture. Yeah, for a while, you're like, no, like, this cannot be real. He's probably like, I don't know, you start becoming like this movie where you're like thinking, oh, what if he was kidnapped? And what if he was whatever? And like, that's the movies you create in your head when you cannot accept reality. And that's what was, like, for example, to me, that was happening a while, like a lot. Like, I used to dreams that my dad was not dead. That my dad was not dead. But that was just my coping mechanism to catch my breath before allowing the anger to come in, right? Because anger is masking so many other emotions, so many other wounds that are created by you losing someone you love. But apply this to life. Apply this to everything. When you understand that grieving, it's a process, right? You have to allow the emotion to be felt. The emotion of denial, of this can't be real, of this is not happening, right? And so the other day I realized that you cannot let go of things sometimes. You have to walk through them, right? And that's what grieving has been teaching me. I have to walk through whatever emotion I'm feeling, whatever thing is arising, whatever I'm going through. I have to allow myself to push through that and understand that I will come out stronger. Yeah, anger is often a way to mask deeper pain. It reminds us that it's okay to feel the intensity of our emotions. Because when you're not feeling, you're not healing. So it's okay to feel anger. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to feel betrayal. It's okay to feel abandoned. It's okay. In bargaining, we look for ways to regain control or make sense of the loss, right? It can feel like grasping onto solutions to avoid fully facing the reality, right? So you're like, oh, if only, oh, what if? And it's extremely normal, but it is a way of us holding back to fully face those emotions, So yeah, depression often happens when reality hits, right? The reality of the loss sinks in and the sadness becomes overwhelming, right? This is where you start feeling a sense of emptiness or hopelessness, and it feels hard to move forward. It feels like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like you literally dig the hole, dip yourself inside, and you don't know how to get out. And it's very hard to navigate this emotion because it's tricky. Feeling is healing, but we have to understand that. I was depressed until I had someone teach me a technique to reinterpret the story I was telling to myself, right? So I kept on replaying my dad's death and how I wish things would have been differently, and how I was telling myself, I don't know how I'm gonna live without him. I don't know how I'm not gonna have my dad forever. But then I started to tell myself that I could find my dad, right? And I started connecting to myself more. And I find that the more that I connect to myself, the deeper I understand my emotions and I allow myself to navigate those emotions freely. And the more that I connect to nature, the more that I connect to my kids, right? The more I do this, the more connected I feel to my dad. So I started seeing him and I started feeling him, or I think of him, and when I think of him, I do feel him. So I started connecting to him in other ways. And I understood that just like in the movie Coco from Disney, death is simply a material, right? The body dies. But when you want to connect to those loved ones that are no longer here, you simply have to think of them. Relive them in your memories. For me, it's very important to talk to my kids about my dad. It's very important to tell them the kind of guy he was, the kind of grandpa that he was, all the good things that he taught me about life. Pass them on and do things that he used to like, in order to connect with him. So at first I was very angry and I was very upset and I stepped away from exercise, which to me, exercise is everything. I studied exercise physiology. Like to me, I love working out. I love exercising. But when my dad died, I was so angry at life. I was so angry at everything that I let myself go. But now, when I'm working out, when I'm doing my things, and I think of him, to me, that's reliving the bond, and just keep on feeding it. And understand that there is no coincidences, right? If I'm talking about my dad, and a red cardinal is sitting right there, I wish I could show you. To me, that's not a coincidence. To me, that's him showing me ways, because nature speaks to us. If you want to listen to nature, it speaks to you, because when you are thinking of something and a bird flies by, to me, that's a way of understanding, like in the Alchemist book, understanding the unspoken language. So that's how you have to learn to talk to the people that are no longer here, or the people that you no longer talk to, because everything in life takes a grieving process in different scales, in different levels. But we have to understand that depression, first of all, is not a stage of weakness. It's a natural and necessary part of grieving. But you do have a choice as to how you're looking at things in life. You do have a choice to reinterpret the story that you keep telling yourself. And to me, that was one of the strongest tools that I had. It's writing out my story, how I tell it to myself, and then facing the facts and the reality. And with those facts and that reality, reinterpreting the story that I'm telling to myself, to take away that energetic extra hold that you're putting on yourself. And this is a tool for life. Whatever you need to reinterpret, either if it's showing your younger self who was bullied and who was hurt, that it's okay to not hold resentment, that it's okay to understand that as long as you stick to your uniqueness and your authenticity, everything will be okay. But it's also a grieving process. And that version of ourselves needs the love, needs the reassurance that everything is good. And acceptance, to me, never means over it, right? Or that it doesn't hurt anymore. The pain is not gone, right? It means you made peace with your new reality. You made peace with your loss, because you understand that it's not a loss. You understand that it literally, your relationship changed, right? And now you have to learn to communicate to him or to her or to whoever you're grieving in a different way, through songs, through memories, through actually doing activities or eating the food they used to love. And when you do so, be like, this is for you, Pops. And that way, you connect in the unspoken language that is the same one as the nature, right? Talking about nature, the other day I saw a movie named The Wild Robot. If you haven't watched it, I ask you to please do yourself a favor and go watch it. And there is a phrase there that said something like, sometimes in order to survive, you have to become more than you were programmed to be, or something like that. And to me, acceptance is that adaptability, understanding that this is your new reality. And even if you weren't programmed to be a mom, even if you weren't programmed to lose your parents, even if you weren't programmed to live through, like heart pain, heartaches, heartbreaks, acceptance is that you need to understand that you have what it takes to move forward. And you have to move forward with your new reality. And you have to adapt to your new reality. Or you can either make it weight a lot and for it to be really heavy on you and keep telling yourself those stories that are only gonna get you in more pain, they're only gonna get you more depressed. Or you can take help and say, okay, I got it. I need to grieve And I need to go through the process of grieving in order to come out stronger. And it's a tool for life. A very hard one to learn, right? But it's a tool for life. Allowing yourself to feel and allowing yourself to go through the things you need to go through with more grace, and giving yourself love and giving yourself patience, because you're learning something new about life, about yourself. So don't ask for hard things because we do so even, subconsciously. So be mindful of how we're wording our stuff, how we're wording what we say. When we were on vacations in Canaima, I had a massage right in front of the waterfalls. And I always used to ask for massages to be hard and to be strong, because if it didn't hurt, it didn't work. That was my mentality, right? And I used to, same in the gym. If I didn't feel my muscles burning, it's not working. And that day, for some reason, I got to the massage, and the lady didn't ask me how I wanted my massage. Neither did I tell her how I wanted my massage. And I had the angel and the devil. I had one Miriam saying, ask for it harder. And then I had the other Miriam saying, allow yourself to receive whatever you are receiving. And let me tell you, it was like a super hard meditation. And that's where I learned that we're receiving in life whatever we're asking for. So I was asking for life to be painful. I was asking for life to be heavy. No. I want soft. I don't want to be hurrying. I don't want to be rushing. I want life to be good. I want life to be nice. I want life to feel like I'm freaking sipping piña colada in the most beautiful beach in the world. But that's a conscious decision that I have to make daily. And I have to allow my emotions to flow through me and understand them as lessons. And one other thing that I've been learning is to applaud myself, that if we persevere and we thrive to be more, and we thrive to make our wounds our strengths, life changes. Give yourself the gift of allowing yourself to reinterpret your life. Write down the story that you keep telling to yourself, consciously or unconsciously. Do this exercise. Write everything down. Once you have it down, read it or have someone else read it, and just highlight the facts, right? After you highlight the facts, reinterpret that as if you were telling it to your friend, or as if you were telling it to your friend and it's a show that you were watching on Netflix. And that's how you're gonna reinterpret your story. And that's how it's gonna weigh less on you. And that's how we can literally start healing. It's not about not feeling it anymore. It's not about avoiding. It's about accepting and adapting. If you like this type of content, that's what I do. My name is Miriam Zaga. I am a family constellator. I do one-on-one coaching, and I'm about to open group coaching and like a course with modules and everything. So stay tuned. If you like this type of content, hit me a follow. I'm gonna probably start my Spotify soon, so I'll put meditations in there and everything. And if you wanna follow me on social media, my Instagram is @Miriam Zaga with another A, so Zaga. Thank you for listening.